Welcome to the Stuff and Things Podcast. Your home for all stuff related to your favorite things in entertainment. Now, here are your hosts.
Hello everybody and welcome to a new episode of the Stuff and Things Podcast. I am Sam. Joining me to discuss the show I've dubbed Sticking the Landing. It's episode 11 of Stuff and Things 2.0 and here is Stefan.
How are we all doing?
Well, I am okay. I don't know about anybody else.
Yeah, so everyone else. We're doing okay.
Well, I wasn't going to say so anyone else. I just didn't know. God, what a start. People listening, like, thanks. Thanks a lot for that.
I don't care how you're feeling. We're feeling fine. Yeah.
You could be someone listening, right, having a really bad day. Like, oh, I'm going to put this podcast on. These guys cheer me up. And we're literally opening with, we don't care.
To that one person, we love you. Have a hug.
One, I don't hug people. Two, I don't.
I'm a hugger. I love a cuddle.
Yeah, really. I'm not. Like, I've been known to literally hand people off that have come in to hug me.
Oh no! See, I've even like my old Xbox name used to be Cuddles.
I'm not.
That was because I wasn't fat. I was cuddly.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, I don't know where to go with that, but cool. Cool for you. That's nice. Yeah. No, I've always been. It's kind of weird because like I have to feel so comfortable. Like my own daughter, like literally. Just fine, like she can hug me. I mean, she's a teenager now, so she doesn't want to come anywhere near me. But you know, that was kind of okay. But that was like a real learning curve for me. Like, you're in my personal space. Like, yeah, I've always been a bit. So I got to feel quite comfortable with people for that, which is very, very rare for me. Like, really rare. Yeah, I'm a bit kind of. Especially strange. I don't get people who hug hello. Like, hi, how are you? Yeah, come in for a hug. Nah, fuck off. But anyway, right, so that's just me. That's everyone gets to learn a little bit more about me every week and probably like me that little bit less. So, this is episode 11. I've dubbed it Sticking the Landing. This week's topic is a fun one, I think. TV show finales that you loved or you hated. Like, did the writers stick the landing, or did they absolutely screw it up? Or, which is infinitely as much fun, did you love it but everyone else hated it? Did everyone hate it but you actually loved it? Which is infinitely possible in this mad world of everyone's opinion being correct.
That is. Shall we start with the really obvious one?
See, now this is funny, okay? You say that, but I made a list. I checked it twice, nearly that time of year. But anyway, I made a list, and I left off the one I think you're about to start with.
I know the reason why you left it off is because we like to pretend it never happened, and we are still waiting for that final season of Game of Thrones.
So yeah, we'll start with Game of Thrones. So, Game of Thrones, based on a series of books, The Songs of Ice and Fire, had a... What do we call it? A considerable drop-off. And there are loads of rumours as to why it happened, okay?
Yeah.
The one that seems to stick the most is that the showrunners got to the point where they wanted it to end because they had another project they wanted to go and do. And so the ending got horribly rushed. The other factor in this is the cost of making the show escalated to the point that the network, the people behind it, were quite keen for it to end. And so there's this kind of perfect storm where the showrunners, who'd normally be like, no, we have this story to tell, and we agreed it'd be this many seasons, how dare you try and shorten it, We're like, shorten it, done. Yeah, we're gonzo.
Yeah, thank you.
The network are like, oh my god, this is costing so much money. Yes, it's one of the big. Yes, it's the biggest show on the planet, but ouch, it's costing too much. Does she need 3 dragons? I mean, can't we just have one?
I'm sure we can find a way to kill off half of the people in the dark.
Yeah. So, the idea, or what happened is that the showrunners wanted out, the network was done, but the reality is, when the show was being pitched and conceived, it was 10 seasons of 10 episodes. The writer, George R.R. Martin, said he only gave the green light because he felt that would tell the story.
Okay.
He also confided and talked to David and Dan, the showrunners, about the ending that he had in his mind, and they kind of, because he asked them certain questions about, to make sure they'd really read the books and kind of were seeing it the same way he did, and they did. They answered the questions the way he asked, etc., etc. So for him, I don't know how bitter he is, because I think he's made a lot of money. But I think there's an element of him where he's kind of like, I'm still writing the books to finish this story. You raced ahead of me with the TV show, and you've kind of knackered the ending because you haven't told it right. Which means that people now hate the ending. And that means I'm stuck writing these books, knowing in the back of my mind that everybody hates the ending, and that's largely because of you bastards rushing it, messing it up, and getting it all wrong.
I mean, at the same time, he's had this absolute bit of luck now that he can look back and go, well, that's not how I'm ending that now.
Yeah, see,
I was wondering if that was a good idea. You've shown me it's not. Thank you.
Now, like most things, TV adaptations of books are not page-to-page, word-for-word adaptations. There's characters and whole massive story arcs missing from the shows. And given how complicated and vast the books are, I completely get those decisions. Yeah, there's certain characters I'd love to have seen. But I completely understand how they streamlined it, how they adapted it, and I think they did a good job with that.
Yep.
But this podcast today is focusing on the endings and whether it was... So, critically, it was not well received. The finale, it was not well received. And what is interesting is I remember, just before the final season aired, David and Dan, the showrunners, said that when the finale airs, they are going to go to a cabin with no internet, no nothing, just to escape the reaction.
Okay.
Do you... Now, there's different ways you can look at that. Like, do you think, like, I've put my heart and soul into this, I know that not everyone's going to like it, and it's going to upset me if that's the case, because the show's ending and people are just not going to... Like, there's no good way to land this plane, therefore people are going to be upset, and I don't want to deal with it because I put my heart and soul into it. Or, there's another way of looking at that, which is, we know this is shit. And we're just going to run away from it because we know it's shit, and we just want out now.
Yeah, we're not saying it's an awful finishing, but we're going to go lock ourselves in a cabin so we haven't got to read it.
But, like, I remember the cast, like, being interviewed, and they were all like, oh, yeah, best season ever, it's going to be really good. And it's like, all of them, to a person, looked genuinely like, I can't believe I'm promoting this crap. I can't believe this show that's been so good is now so bad. Look, there's loads and loads of factors to this, but one of the things I find hilarious is David and Dan had the kind of world at their feet. And after season 6 of Game of Thrones, were approached by Lucasfilm, because they were massive Star Wars fans, to go and create an adult trilogy of films set in the Star Wars universe. And it was going to be dubbed as, like, not Game of Thrones, obviously, but a trilogy of films that was going to be rated 15 or higher, like, strong, violent, set in the Star Wars universe, and they were going to get complete control, carte blanche, and the money and all of that. It was a big deal for them.
Yeah.
They had that lined up, contracted, and that's why everyone believes that's why they rushed the finish. The ending of Game of Thrones was so badly received, they were so universally hated for it, Disney ripped up that contract. They literally paid them to never work for them.
Ouch.
Like,
I would love to be so good at a job that I get paid to not work.
I remember reading somewhere that they got like $300,000, which was like a kind of built in, if the contract gets cancelled, this is what you get. And Disney literally looked at it and went, we would rather pay them 300 grand to go away than have their now stained, damaged brand anywhere near us. And that's Disney saying that.
Jesus.
So that's how badly the end of Game of Thrones stuck. Now, I'm going to say this, I'm going to have to say this a lot during the podcast. If you are someone who didn't watch Game of Thrones when it first came out and are watching it currently...
Sorry.
Yeah, you're probably mad at me right now talking about this, but I'm about to talk about a couple of specifics. So, spoiler alert, consider this your kind of... what are we doing? And just kind of blank the next 5 minutes, skip ahead. The decision around Daenerys, like, I still, to this day, think, if told over a longer period, would have been brilliant. But it felt so weird that she suddenly just went, you know what? I've decided I'm just going to start butchering people. Yeah, screw it. Yeah, I'm just going to kill everyone and be the Queen of the Ashes. I genuinely believe if it was stretched a little bit longer, would have been one of the best character arcs in TV history.
Yeah.
Because it was all there. Like, literally, it was all there. Like, all the little hints. Like, if I have watched Game of Thrones back, and she wants to murder people en masse on a regular basis.
Like, oh, yeah.
Like,
yeah.
She takes hold of her army. First thing she orders them to do is butcher everyone with a whip, kill all the masters. Like, don't get me wrong, when you're watching it, you're like, yeah, free the slaves, kill the masters. What? It's not free the slaves and imprison the masters.
No. We kill.
Yeah, we go straight to the worst. There's a scene in season 7 when she makes an army surrender and they refuse to kneel to her, so she burns them alive with dragon fire.
Yes.
I mean, that's not exactly going to inspire. Like, you just wiped out one of the houses that you kind of want on your side. Like, there are so many things that are in there, but the problem is season 7 into 8 was so rushed, it just felt like she did it on a dime. Like, she just flipped and that was it. I think if you were doing this 10 seasons, 10 episodes a season, her gradual descent into this actual mad queen, like her father was the mad king,
yeah,
it would have been brilliant. Like, you as the audience would have been like, oh, she's going bad. Like, can someone keep, like, Tyrion's keeping her on the straight and narrow, Varys is like, but is she, oh, I don't know, like, and then all of a sudden she's going to do something and we as the audience would have been, shit.
Here it comes.
Yeah. And you remember that moment she's on top of Drogon and she's looking and Melisandre's been killed and she takes off and then she just opens up, like, just literally starts torching the whole city. I think to that moment, and I think, imagine that is the final episode of season 10. You know, you've gone 10, like, you've followed this poor girl, horse traded, raped brutally, and then she takes charge. You're championing her the whole way. Then you start to think, oh, hang on, what's going on? Oh, no, wait a minute, Danny, that wasn't very nice.
Yeah.
Oh, crap. Oh, no. And then all of a sudden it's like, shit, she is like, oh, no, she's the worst.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
She's the bad guy.
Yeah, and that would have been incredible. But as it is, because it felt so rushed, it's like, that's crap. Like, that's a character we followed for years and years and years. We know her, and now you're telling us she's behaving like this. Nah, go away. That's nonsense.
Yeah.
The next one I want to talk about is a certain Jon Snow.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay.
You watch Game of Thrones, same as me.
I did. Unfortunately, what I did was, ready for our podcast, I binge-watched 7 seasons.
You did.
I literally did one a week for 7 weeks, ready for season 8 to come out, because we were live tweeting through it and everything else.
Yeah.
And then it happened, season 8.
Yeah. So, Jon Snow.
Yep.
Can you tell me what relevance to the story who his parents were in the end?
No.
Don't you think that that's kind of a big deal?
Like, I'm thinking now in my head, I'm like, wait, have I missed it? Is this one of those trick questions where you're going to go, well, duh, obviously it's because... No, I can't.
No. So, the show starts, he's Ned Stark's bastard.
Yeah. Spoiler alerts.
He's not. He is actually the heir to the Iron Throne. He is legitimately the child, Aegon Targaryen, but he was called Jon Snow. He was hidden by his uncle, Eddard, to keep him safe. It is an incredible story that unravels gradually throughout the 6 seasons of the show. He is murdered, stabbed in the heart. He is brought back to life by blood-red priestess magic.
Yes.
For what? He doesn't end up on the Iron Throne. He doesn't kill the Night King. Literally, all of the things that were his kind of destiny, that seemed to be the prince that was promised, all of this crap, nothing. He just ends up in the proper north, above the wall, which is where he was anyway.
Yeah.
He had no land. He had no titles. He was a damn bastard. Oh, actually, he's Aegon Targaryen. Oh no, wait, because he kills Daenerys, he now has no land. He has no titles. He's back in the black. I cannot express how fucking stupid that was. And if that genuinely is where George was going with all of this, I hope...
He now knows not to.
I hope the reason his books are so delayed are because he is reconsidering all of it. Because...
all life choices.
Yeah, like I said, so Game of Thrones, we could literally do a show on all by itself. But that was just such a... We can definitely put that in it. Did they stick the landing? Hell no. Right? Now, I'm going to do a couple of quick fire ones, because I don't think they're shows you've watched. But if you have, please interrupt me. The Sopranos.
Nope.
The Sopranos, a massive, massive show. Also from HBO, by the way. It is a incredible show. If you've never watched it, I'd encourage you to give it a go. It's if you like films like Casino, Goodfellas, things like that, it's just the TV equivalent of that. New Jersey crime family called The Sopranos. All of the trials and tribulations of this family told through the kind of the main man, the leader of this family, who's also going to therapy. It is Tony Soprano. He's a fantastic actor. He's no longer with us, unfortunately. But the show was great. The show ended in, still to this day, the strangest, most controversial way possible, okay?
Okay.
He and his family are meeting in like a cafe. He's sat in the booth. His wife comes in and sits down. His son comes in. His daughter's coming in. He looks up and the screen goes blank, black, end. That's it.
What?
I remember when it aired, people around the world thought their TV station had broken. Something had gone off the air. What the hell's happened? The idea behind this ending is that you're supposed to interpret it. You're supposed to be like, oh, maybe he was shot and killed. Maybe, like, so the story ended that abruptly. All this kind of stuff. It was crap. I'm saying it right now. If you literally cannot write a good ending, let someone else have a go. Because the idea that they sat in a writer's room and went, I know. I know, right? We're building up to this moment for years and years and years. Just make the screen go black. Fuck the audience. They're going to hate it anyway. Let's have a laugh at them and tell them, oh, you get to make your own ending. Nah, fuck you. People who wrote that show deserve to be dragged out into the street and beaten with bats. Anyway. Another one. Supernatural.
Nope.
15 seasons that show was on. 15 seasons of like 20 odd episodes a season.
Wow.
I never watched it. A friend of mine absolutely obsessed with it, loved it, always said to me I'd enjoy it, and every time I'd look at it I'd be like, that's a lot to like catch up on, you know.
Yeah, there's a few shows out there that I look at and I'm like, yeah.
It's like, I know, I was like, I always thought to myself, I know I'd probably like that show, but that's a commitment. Anyway, I was unwell, very unwell. I was bedridden. I had to watch, and I was like, do you know what? This is my chance. this is my kind of put it on. And I watched this show. I binge watched 15 seasons of a TV show. Okay, best part of 15 seasons because one episode was titled to do with spiders, and I skipped that one. Anyway, but basically 15 seasons of a show in like a month or so. Which is nuts, but I literally couldn't do anything else.
Yeah.
So, yeah, still, it's a hell of a commitment. So, the ending of the show, I think, was ruined because of COVID. And so I don't blame them for the way the show ended.
Right.
But at the same time, the ending kind of sucks. Because they had to film it in a bubble. And therefore, whereas the ending I think they had planned was like a big reunion of all these characters, past and present, they literally couldn't do it. There's literally two of them on a bridge in the middle of nowhere. Hey, great to be reunited with you. Air hug. It's just kind of like, oh, so it just fell really flat for me.
Yeah.
Also, they killed off one of the main characters. Anyone who's a big fan of the show will know they die a lot in it. It's called Supernatural and they get brought back a lot in it. So the idea that the final ending of the show was one of them dying was a bit like, well, that's dumb. They've died like 8 times and they like literally this show just rolls on and rolls on and rolls on.
This is not the first time they've died.
Yeah, it's like this literally like how's this a finale? This is a mid-season finale, one of them dying, and then the next part is clearly they just want a couple of weeks off because they're back again. Like, what the shit? So it just fell flat for me, but I think we can largely blame COVID for that.
Yeah.
Battlestar Galactica, the new one.
Nope.
Man, I watch too much TV compared to you, clearly. Battlestar Galactica, the new one. TV. Yes, that's the better way of saying it. Thank you. That made me feel better. Battlestar Galactica, the new one, really captured me. It's really, really good sci-fi. There's some scenes in it which have inspired me so much in like stuff I like to write and things. I think it's incredible writing. I think it's a great show. But the ending is so confusing to me that there is a podcast hosted by one of the stars of the show called Katie Sackhoff, right? Okay. She's in the Mandalorian. She plays Bo-Katan.
Ah, okay.
She played Starbuck in this new version of the show because the original show was an 80s or 70s or 80s sci-fi. Mm-hmm. But anyway, even she, whilst interviewing the lead writer of the show, sounded confused by the ending, and the lead writer basically said, "Oh yeah, it's open to interpretation." No. So I'm saying it right now, that did not stick the landing, and it was a really great show. The most recent one for me that pissed me off is a show called The Blacklist.
Nope.
Okay, so no.
Nope.
Not that one either, no. 10 seasons of that show, plus a 2-season spin-off with a different show, but you had to watch it to link to the main show.
Okay.
10 seasons, 20-odd episodes a season, proper network TV, US style.
Yeah.
About this character who was the ultimate crime boss. He was called the Global Concierge of Crime. The guy was the FBI's most wanted for 30 years. He evaded capture. He was incredible. Like, the guy had this genius level mind, and he had an infrastructure. He was a billionaire, so he had this infrastructure. He was uncatchable, unkillable for 10 seasons. And then he decides to go... and then the finale, he goes for a walk in a field in Spain and is killed by a rampaging bull. Get fucked. 10 seasons I watched that show. 10 seasons.
That has to be the worst one so far. That's making Game of Thrones always look good.
10 fucking seasons.
I mean, the plus side, I suppose, if it was Game of Thrones, it would have been killed by a rampaging bull at night that we didn't see.
Yeah. That's very well said.
But, God, 10 seasons to then get killed by a bull.
And what makes it worse, right? This is what makes it worse. For 7 or 8 seasons of the show, he had a dual lead character, a woman who worked for the FBI.
Yep.
Who he had a link to, which was never explained. It was the big mystery of the show. Why is there a link between the two of them? Is he her real dad? No. Well, hang on. Yeah, he is his real dad. There's been this DNA test. Oh, no, wait. No, he's pretending he's not the real dad. There was, like, mate, it was so complicated and so interesting. They never answered the question. They killed her off in season 8 because she was so... They killed her off, and then they just didn't answer it. Like, so who was he to her? And like fans online, like, oh yeah, actually he was her mother and had like sex change operations and all this kind. I'm like, seriously, that's how bad the ending is. The ending's that bad that fans have now fan fictioned the most insane batshit theories you can think of. And they're like, yeah, that's what it is.
That makes sense.
After watching the finale, I immediately thought, okay, I'm a little bit late to watching it, so I've managed to avoid spoilers. But, oh my God, so I'm now going to look to see how people thought about this. To a person in like a Reddit thread, they're like, yeah, he ain't dead. That's a fake body. I'm like, seriously, this guy's been so amazing for so long. Even though the show's been cancelled, people are just like, nah, bullshit, he ain't really dead. Like that. Anyway.
That's great.
The next one on my little quickfire list, again, I don't think you watched it, was Quantum Leap.
No, so this is quite an old show, isn't it?
Yeah.
I used to watch it because my dad used to like watching it.
Yeah, it was a great show.
But I couldn't say to you I watched the ending or anything. I just know random episodes whenever it came on.
Mate, you know the premise, right?
Yeah.
Dr. Samuel Beckett, in the future, even though it was the 90s when this was... They had a very strange idea of what the 90s was. But anyway, Dr. Samuel Beckett can leap back in time into the bodies of other people from his lifetime to put right what once went wrong. And when he puts the thing this right, he then leaps and he goes to someone else. All throughout the show's run, it's like, who's leaping me? Is it fate? Is it God? What's going on? Like, I did this experiment, but I'm not in control of it. I'm putting things right that went wrong, but who says they were wrong? Like, who am I doing this for? In the final episode, he comes face to face with the person, creature, whatever that's been leaping him. They don't answer it. Is it God? Is it fate? Whatever. It's not answered.
Yeah.
That's okay. I don't mind that. The whole show, the whole premise, every freaking episode, it would have a tagline, and Dr. Beckett hopes that his next leap will be the leap home. Because he wanted to get back to his wife, his family. He wanted to go home.
Makes sense, yeah.
They don't let him go home. In the final episode, with the show cancelled, and they knew it was cancelled, and they filmed the freaking episode, they keep leaping the poor bastard. He's still stuck in time. So whatever sadistic fate, God, the devil, whoever's leaping him, even though he was in tearful, what do you want? I just want to go home. Then gaslights him by saying, oh, well, if you wanted to go home, you'd leap home because you're really in charge. You clearly don't want to. You just want to help people. And he's like crying, like, no, I just want to go home. Nope, bullshit, off you leap. That's how they ended it. And then they make a shitty sequel series a couple of years ago, which started well and then just went into this woke agenda bollocks and got cancelled, like, awful. And that's me saying that. And I am, like, ridiculously tolerant, but it was awful. Yeah. And in that, they were looking for him. So we're, like, 20 years later, and that poor bastard's still leaping through time. What a crap ending. Anyway, right, I love that show, so it still irks me.
That's fantastic.
Now, I want to move into a show that me and you both definitely watched, and I think the ending is absolute Marmite. I see people love the ending, but I see people hate this ending.
Oh, okay.
How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah.
Mate, me and you love this show, and in fact, at some point there's going to be a podcast purely just me and you talking about it, because there is so much in that show that me and you quote. Like, is
daily. Yeah.
Insane. But purely on the ending, purely the thing that happens, spoiler alert for anyone, you have 9 seasons of this show where 8 of them is purely building to him finally meeting this woman of his dreams, right?
Yeah.
And then he finally meets her a couple of episodes before the end.
Yep.
And then they flash forward through everything. She dies. You realise the reason he's telling this whole story to the kids is because she's died, and therefore it's like this kind of reminiscing thing. And the kids point out that, oh, this story is not about Mum. She's hardly in it. It's all about you and Aunt Robin. You should date Aunt Robin. And that's how the show ends. Your fault, sir.
It was painful. I was so cross at that.
Yeah.
I still remember watching it and just being absolutely livid when the kids were like, oh, just go date Aunt Robin instead, it's fine. and me just being like, you're joking. I've watched all of this to find out the mother who gets killed off in a few episodes just so you can go back and date Robin.
Again.
Which we've seen happen throughout the series anyway.
Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff. Now we're gonna do a show talking about this, right? And I'm gonna promo that show a little bit right now, okay?
Yeah.
By saying we're obviously gonna talk about the finale in that, but also we're gonna talk about some of the crazy theories with the show. Now, if you've watched How I Met Your Mother, this is going to make sense to you. But you know how they use sandwiches as a metaphor in it for smoking weed?
Yes.
Apparently, one of the real theories is that Barney Suits is cocaine. And he's a massive cokehead. And when he wants Ted to suit up, yeah, and that's why he rarely does it. But he does it on a couple of times.
Yeah, there's that whole episode about Robin Kennedy, like he has to give up his suits.
Yeah, for the hot bartender who won't be around city guys because they're all suits, they're all doing coke. And she's like, yeah, I'm not interested in those guys. And he's literally going through withdrawal. And they have a full-on Pulp Fiction withdrawal scene of him
Oh my god.
going to the toilets to be with his suit. Anyway, there's loads of stuff like that, and we're going to do it all in one show. So if you watch How I Met Your Mother, look out for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. Now, another one with the ending, so these are shows which I think stuck the landing, okay? I believe they stuck the landing with Friends.
Yes, I'll give you that.
I think the finale of Friends really worked. I think they meandered for a couple of seasons. I think the whole Joey and Rachel thing felt forced. I think they meandered a little bit, but I do think they stuck the landing. And I remember watching it and feeling like, yeah, I'm good. Like, that's done. That's nice. That's really, really kind of close. Now, I loved that show.
That is a show that me and the wife still watch now. Like, if it pops up on telly, we'll chuck it on. Or background, we need something in the background. Chuck Friends on.
Yeah, I can't watch it now, but there's a reason to that. We'll park that, but no, I do also find the fact that Matthew Perry's passed away really sad.
Yeah.
Like, whenever I see like the character Chandler and that on there doing something, I just feel, it just makes me feel very sad.
When you know the kind of story behind.
Exactly, yeah. It just feels very sad. But I really think they stuck the landing. Another show, and bear in mind that was 10 seasons, so that's not easy, right?
Yeah.
Another show that went 15 seasons, and I believe genuinely stuck the landing, Big Bang Theory.
Fantastic show.
Brilliant show. One that I can just, again, leave on happily. Still makes me laugh. Even when I know the jokes are coming, still makes me laugh. The spin-offs are also good, by the way. But the Big Bang Theory ending for me, perfect. Chef's kiss. Sheldon winning the Nobel, but actually in that moment realising that it was his friends that were there for it. You know, it was brilliant because that character was so aggravating. like how many times would you have said in 15 seasons, I'd kill him? Countless times.
God, the amount of times. He would do something, you'd be like, oh my God, I would. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'd throttle him. And then you get these moments, and they got better and better as the show went on, where you were like, really felt for him. And there was just one thing, I'm going to say it now, because every time I think about, like, I always say to people who are struggling, all problems are relative. Like, do not ever do that thing of, oh, people have got it worse than me, etc., etc., because problems are relative. And I remember there was this moment where he was sat with Penny, and Penny was trying to talk to him about something, and he said that YouTube changed their rating system from a thumbs up to a heart, and it really, really bothered him. And she mocked him, like, oh, you know, you're not going to take this seriously, and went to storm out. And he stopped there and said, you just hurt my feelings. And she's like, what do you mean? He's like, I realise that to you and to everyone else that seems trivial. But to me, and the way my mind works, that really, really impacts me. Like, it really has an effect. And I've just confided that to you, and you've dismissed it.
Yeah.
I love that scene. And it has impacted me, and it has impacted me in how I listen and talk to people ever since then. Because when people explain things to me, just because to me that's not a big deal, doesn't mean to them it's not the end of the world. And yeah, so a silly sitcom, but a brilliant show, and I love the ending to that. So I genuinely think they stuck the landing there.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch Breaking Bad?
No, do you know I didn't? That was one of those shows, a bit like you in Supernatural. I kind of got onto it a bit late. There was loads of the people that had already watched it, and it was already however far into it, and I was just like, I'd probably really enjoy it, but have I got the time to watch it all to catch up?
I'm going to give this show a very strange review.
Okay.
I don't think it's as good as people say it is.
Wasn't the whole premise of it, he breaks out of prison, but then he has to break back into prison to break someone else out of prison?
No, that's Prison Break.
Ah.
Breaking Bad is a high school chemistry teacher.
Of course it is. I have
gets
seen
diagnosed with terminal cancer.
That's it. I have seen... I don't know why I went with Prison Break. I just literally heard you say the word break and my brain went, Prison Break. No, Breaking Bad. I have seen episodes, but not the full seasons.
Yeah. So basic premise is that he he needs money for his family because, of course, in America, healthcare costs and bankrupts people.
Yeah.
And he has this mad idea he could cook meth because he knows how to do it, make enough money for his family, so when he dies, they're going to be okay, and his medical bills don't cripple them for life. He recovers from cancer, but by this point, he's making so much money from doing this, and he's gone so far down the rabbit hole, he's basically become like this mob, this drug dealing cartel ripping off, But the thing is, and I'll say this, I don't think the show is as good as people make out it is, and I know this is going to sound like a really strange review. I also dislike every single character in it. Like, none of them have got, like, all of them are bad. Like, Skylar, his wife, is the most irritating woman on the planet. His son is also a pain in the ass. Yeah, like, Jesse Pinkman's, like, an absolute moron. He is evil. Like, his brother-in-law's FBI is kind of a nice guy, DEA, sorry, and he, like, all of them. I'm watching this show hoping most of them fail. But,
okay, yeah.
But, and this is the strange review, I had to keep watching. It was like a car crash. I could not take my eyes off it, even though my brain's going, why am I watching this?
This is crap, turn it off.
But I need to know what happens. Like, I need to see the ending. I am never going to watch that show again. I have zero interest in watching it a second time. I watched it the whole way through. I know the ending. Did the ending... Like, I generally am not sure if they stuck the landing or not. But with shows like this, sometimes the ending can feel flat or completely missed. The ending did have an ending. Does that make sense? Like, it did have some redemptions. It did have some sort of finality to it.
Yeah.
So I'd say they stuck the landing, and like I said, when I finished it, I was like, yeah, okay, I'm done. I didn't feel like I didn't feel like there was more to be done. I didn't feel shortchanged, like the screen just went blank, or all of a sudden the character who's been good for 6 years is an asshole. It just, okay, yeah, all right, we're done. That's good. I'm okay. So the last one that I'm fairly confident you watched with me as well from my list is The Good Place.
Oh, what a show.
I discovered this randomly. I think 2 seasons were available when I found it. And it was just like trying to find something. I think it was on Netflix. I was like, I just want to watch something, whatever. Just put it on. And I was like, I don't know what this is. Sitcom. Oh, I like her.
Yeah.
Ted Danson's in it. Oh, okay. Mate, to say that I just put it on and then I ended up just watching every episode.
I'm pretty sure we binge watched it in about 3 days.
Just loved it. Like, such a silly premise met with such over the top, but loved it. But the whole idea of this show is obviously talking about the finale. I genuinely started to worry about this show as it felt like it was going all over the place, and it felt like it was getting a little bit kind of like, okay, I'm getting confused now, like, and I knew it was the final season, and then the way they stuck the landing with it, I was kind of over the moon. I kind of loved it, and the finale had this kind of hopeful, happy ending, which was nice. It just, the whole show at the time was just like really great, and I was really happy. But I do know, that's my opinion, I do know a lot of people didn't like it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I do. In preparing for this podcast, I thought, you know what? A few of these shows I've written down I hated. Let's just see if there were people who liked it. No, universal hate. Okay.
That's crazy. Like, for me, okay, I know we're talking just about the finale, not season finale. It's just the finale. Yeah. But for me, season 1 was some of the best telly I've ever seen. Like,
this is the bad place.
This is the bad place. Oh my God. Like, that twist was just, that was mind-blowing, that was.
It was brilliant.
And then you're kind of getting into it. Season 2, you're like, okay, yeah, this is pretty good. I'm enjoying it. Season 3, like you say, I was watching it like, something's gone wrong. Like, they've almost made, like, the final season, I was like, they've made this a season too long.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, this is going with... And then it got to the finale, and you're kind of like, oh, they've saved themselves.
Yeah, I kind of felt like...
there.
Yeah, I kind of felt like they meandered, like, but they... Like, there was a lot of very funny things in that meandering, if that makes sense. Like, her being reunited with her mother, the judge, you know, the whole... The guy sat guarding the doorway, just being like this loved little frogs. Like, there's so many stupid little jokes and funny things.
Yep.
But it did really, the whole Jeremy Bellamy thing. Like, they didn't try and explain what was going on. They just made a joke out of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, crazy. But yeah, I feel like they stuck the landing, which is good.
It was a good show.
Any shows for you that I've not listed and stuff that you're kind of like, yeah, they stuck the landing, didn't stick the landing?
For me, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Ooh, that's an interesting one.
That is a show where I have watched it start to finish twice.
Oh, fair play. I've only ever watched it start to finish once.
I watched it start to finish by myself.
Yeah.
And then with my wife, because she got into the Marvel stuff, and I was like, look, if we're going to do the Marvel stuff properly, and we actually got the whole thing up and watched X amount of episodes, then a film, then X, and we did it properly.
Nice. Yeah.
And then eventually we got to a stage where we were just watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
And it was like... And both times I've watched it, I have got to the exact same episode and taken like a 2 to 3 month break.
Yeah,
because there's just that one bit where when Ghost Rider comes into it, and it starts going that way. Both times when I watched it on my own and then watched it again with the wife, we both were just like, it's going nowhere. It's just nothing is explored. It's just got a bit bleh.
Yeah.
And then we get back into it, and what makes me laugh is the fact that I had done this before, so I knew that it then gets really good again.
Yeah.
But even watching it the second time, I couldn't convince myself or the wife, no, let's just crack on the next 3 episodes, get them out the way, and then it gets good again. I know it gets good again.
Yeah.
But I still had to take a break. And then it all got a bit strange with the whole, when they caught up and overtook the MCU. And they start going up into space, and it's all aliens, and it all got a bit very strange.
Yeah.
But then you get to the finale, and I freaking cried both times.
Oh, bless you.
Like, the way they just wrap it all up with them all getting back into that meeting where they're all sat in the bar. And, it's just absolute brilliant ending, I think. Proper stuck a landing on that one.
I mean, I'm a big Marvel fan, same as you. I watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., same as you. I did stick it, watch it through, and I felt the quality of the show declined terribly. I felt once characters were killed and brought back in a really easy, simplistic way, once time travel was involved, once they involved the Darkhold in magic and stuff like that,
it got weird.
It became so confusing and so kind of... But the initial series so the concept was Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was going to sit in between the films, and you would see the consequences of the films play out in a series. It's such a great idea. But, and I will say this, when they did Captain America Winter Soldier and Hydra re-emerging in S.H.I.E.L.D.,
Yep.
and one of the agents who you've followed from the start of the season, start of the show, suddenly turns and you realise he's Hydra.
Yep.
It was incredible.
Oh my god, yeah.
Because, like, he's one of the heroes. He's one of the team. He is literally one of the guys. And he just turned around and tried to kill him. Like, Fitz and Simmons, like, the whole... It was incredible. And then it just went weird. Like, the whole hive thing. The whole on another planet. The portals. There was just so much to it. It just became so ridiculously complicated. Then the time travel into the future, Earth being blown apart by Quake.
Oh, the whole Quake storyline. Like, Sky was an incredible character. Yeah. Daisy and Quake, they just annoyed me.
Inhumans brought in, Inhumans taken out. There were so many aspects of it which was interesting, and yet at the same time just like, oh, what are you doing? But yeah, the ending felt like the show again.
Yeah.
One point on this before we leave it. Do you think that was 616? This is very Marvel, by the way, so if you're not a Marvel fan, apologies for this, but because I think the easiest way of making this show canon is to say it's Earth 617. Like, practically identical, but
not
Coulson survived.
There.
Yeah, but Coulson survived. Whereas on 616 he didn't. But in 617 he was Tahiti and all that was true. So it's basically all the events, everything's practically the same, but then we do have these kind of tangents, and that way you can kind of explain it, because of course in the MCU now the Darkhold and stuff like that has been introduced, and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. just is not referenced anywhere ever.
No.
I think that
works. I think that works. Make it 618 or 617.
Yeah, that's my head canon anyway. That's my kind of, that's where I'm at with it.
Almost 616.
Yeah. Yeah. There's one show I want to finish on because it's an interesting thing to finish. Okay. And it's Ted Lasso. Ted Lasso was a show on Apple TV, 3 seasons, and it told a complete story, beginning, middle, end. And the finale is beautiful, tear in the eye, perfect.
Yep.
I loved that show, and I genuinely would have loved it to be 10 seasons long. Like, it was just such a hopeful, good TV show. So good, right? So good. However, when it ended, and the ending was so perfect, there was a big part of me that's like, don't touch it. Like, if you want to spin off a few of the characters, I'd watch a spin off. But don't make me a Ted Lasso season 4. Like, it's done.
It ended perfect.
They're making a Ted Lasso season 4.
I know.
I am equal parts delighted, equal parts sad by that.
In my head, I think I need to treat this as a spin-off.
I'm hoping when we get more on it, it's not called Ted Lasso Season 4, rather it's called Richmond Forever or something like... Do you know what I mean? Like, actually spin it off.
Yeah.
Because although it sounds silly, like, it's all the same actors, the same place, whatever... It's like a little psychological thing that you've told that story is sat there, it's perfect. Now these characters are now progressing and we're going to tell a new story. I don't know, the writers are so good, I have total faith in them to back them. It's the same people behind other shows I like Shrinking, etc.
I have absolutely no fear that it's going to be a good show.
Yeah.
My fear is... do we need it?
So I'm just going to end with this, all right? Because this is an important thing. Bill Lawrence, we're going to do a show about Bill Lawrence at some point and the shows he's done, because the shows me and you like. Scrubs, Cougar Town, Bad Monkey, Shrinking, Ted Lasso, just to name those. Scrubs was a phenomenal TV show. It really, really was. And it had an ending that was perfect. JD walking down the corridor, leaving Sacred Heart Hospital, all the memories, all of this stuff just playing out, him seeing all the people from the past, patients who he'd lost, it was this beautiful, beautiful ending. And then they did another series. And the other series was shite and the show got cancelled.
Ah, right.
And that was Bill Lawrence.
Oh.
Yeah. So, it does make me nervous. It does make me nervous that Scrubs ended beautifully and then they tried to do another. Now, funnily enough, that was called Scrubs Season 9, but when it went to DVD, Bill Lawrence made sure to separate it as Scrubs The Intern Season 1. Almost like he was kind of,
I have realised what I've done here.
Yeah. Now, they are rebooting Scrubs, by the way. Scrubs is coming back as well. So we'll talk about that another time. But anyway, that is our show. We hope we've covered enough. Now, if you are listening, get in touch with any TV shows we've not mentioned and tell us if you think they stuck the landing or if they absolutely broke their legs trying to land, like it was awful. And get in touch, because every 10 episodes, roughly, we are going to do a show, which you would have, heard last week, talking about, like, you, our listeners, coming into us and pointing stuff out. Like, hey, you talked about this, but you missed this. And then we're going to go through it all in one show. So do that. You can get in touch with us via Discord. The link's in the podcast description. You can get in touch via the podcast apps. I know a lot of people use that via Pandora, in the US especially. You can email Sam at stuffandthangspodcast.com, and you can get in touch via all the socials. Until next week, and next week we will be talking, you'll enjoy this, next week is from gaming to the big and small screen, so computer game adaptations.
Oh, this will be good.
Yeah, and some exciting kind of ideas that are being floated around to link the two, but we'll talk about that next week. Until then, everybody, you all take care.
And think, is pizza just overpriced round toast?
Thank you for listening to the Stuff and Things podcast. We hope you enjoyed the show. You can find us on Facebook or online. Simply search the Stuff and Things podcast to join in our conversation every week.